Well, good morning, everyone. Lovely to see all of you on this morning. And I see lots of familiar faces or familiar names. And I can see the faces in my mind of many of the names going down the chat roll. So, guys, welcome. So nice to have you with me this morning. And I'm excited to tell you about this amazing business, eXp Realty, as they're called internationally, and eXp South Africa in South Africa, that I was introduced to last year. I wasn't looking for this opportunity. It just kind of landed in my lap as I was approached by a gentleman in Canada, an ex-client of mine, who had had a big real estate business in South Africa, and he'd moved over there. And he said, "Look, I'm coming back to South Africa for a week or two, and I really want to show you something about a company called eXp." I'd never heard of them at the time, but I'm so glad that I took the time just to at least investigate the opportunity, because it has changed my business future. It's changed the lives of many of the agents who have joined me in my group, and I'm excited to tell you about it today. And that's what we're here to do. And yeah, it's just such a great crowd of you to join me this morning, guys. I'm honored, and I'm grateful. I'm grateful for the time that you're affording me, and I also want to thank you for the many of you who have given me such positive feedback from the Spotlight series. I do believe this Spotlight series has been the best overall training intervention that I've ever done in my 20 years as a real estate trainer. And in fact, if somebody were to say to me, "I need to get my business to the next level, Stephen, can you help me? Can you coach me?" I would in fact take them to that Spotlight curriculum, and that's what I would coach them through. And I want to thank you for the many wonderful comments that I've had from you guys via email and WhatsApp, etc., thanking me for it. Okay, so without any further ado, I think I've waffled enough to get everyone time to get on the webinar today. And you see, while I've been waffling, about 40 people have got on the webinar. So you've always got to waffle a little bit at the beginning. Okay, so Brian says, "Even as an old dog with more than 20 years experience, you've learned a lot." Yeah, thanks, Brian. And Brian is one of those who has already joined my eXp team, and I'm so grateful that he did. He's a great agent there on the west coast of Cape Town. Okay, so guys, a couple of slides, and then we're going to get into a little video we're going to watch together. So what do I want to achieve today? Excuse me. Two things that I want to achieve today. Number one, I want to help you understand what it is that eXp do that is so exciting, that is so different. Why is this the fastest growing real estate company in history? Why have 60,000 agents joined in less than 10 years? Why are some of the most high profile names in real estate, particularly in America, because that's where they're really well established now, why are some of the most high-profile leaders in the real estate industry moving across to eXp? This is what I want to try to help you understand, so that at least you can make an informed decision about whether or not there is an opportunity for you in this. Okay, so I want to give you a lucid explanation. And for those of you who know me and know my way of doing things, this is how I operate in life. To me, the communication of truth in a clear, lucid fashion is so important. That's how I'm motivated. I want to help you understand clearly what this company does. Okay, so there's a teaching aspect to this morning. And in order to do that, we are going to watch a video together. It's a 29-minute video called The Model Explained. And let me just hide my camera for a second. That video, so the video I'm going to show you this morning, is available at this website, www.themodelexplained.co.za. Now, why is that important for you to know that website? I've put it at the top of the chat roll as well. You should see it at the top of the chat roll in the sort of sticky bar. That's important because you might want to watch this again. But more important, you might want to show this to someone else or a group of other people that you also want to show the opportunity to. How do you do that? It's very simple. You don't have to explain anything. Just go to that website, watch the same video that we're going to watch together today. And then the second thing I want to do with you today is I want to help you make an informed decision. Okay, so I do want to bring you to a point of decision. Is this something that you should pursue as an opportunity for your life and your career? Now, in order to help you make that decision, I want to, as quickly as possible, get into a one-on-one discussion with you. Okay, so this is where I want to depart from 163 people on a webinar. Okay, this is not a decision that most people are going to take quickly. In fact, in my experience, the top agents, the kind of agents that I do want to join my team, are not the kind of people that will sign up this afternoon. It might take a few days, a few weeks, and in some cases, a few months to make the transition. And that's okay. Now, and in order for that to happen, guys, I want to get into a relationship with you. So what I'm going to do at the end of today is I'm going to put a little offer on the side. That's what my webinar software calls it, an offer, with a link to book a one-on-one appointment with me into my diary. This is just the best way that I can do to open up my diary to book a whole lot of one-on-one appointments. So I use an app called Calendly. Many of you know Calendly. So I'm going to put my Calendly link up at the end of today's webinar. Click it, book an appointment with me into my diary so that we can get into a one-on-one discussion, so that I can answer your questions. I can get to know what your specific situation is. I do want to hear from you. What is it that you want to achieve with your career? What are you excited about with eXp? Because there's many things to be excited about. And what will the journey look like if you do want to transition from where you are now to join eXp and join my team of leaders? Okay, so I am still in the process, which is what all these circles behind me are, of building an initial leadership team for my eXp business. And it is that discussion that I want to have with you, whether one of the places in that leadership team should go to you. Okay, so thank you, Patty. Patty Judd, actually one of the first ladies, and she is a brilliant agent in Somerset West, Stellenbosch area. Patty was one of the very first people to join me on this journey, to join my leadership team, and she says there, it'll change your life. The next hour is going to change your life. And that is true. This is not an exaggeration. This is why so many people are joining eXp, because it does change lives. Okay, so enough from me. What we're going to do is now start this video. It's a 29-minute video in which I explain the eXp model. So are you ready to understand the most revolutionary, the most disruptive real estate business that has ever seen the light of day? Well, here we go. And then at the end of this, I'm going to get back up and I'll just be available to answer any questions. I'm going to put my Calendly link up and then we're done for the day. So basically, this is what we're doing now. We're going to watch the video. And then if you want to book an appointment and get on with your day, that's fine. I will hang around afterwards and answer questions in the chat role as well. But if you've booked an appointment and you're ready to go after the video, then that's fine. Then we're done. So you're in for another 29 minutes. Okay, so guys, here we go. The eXp model explained. Well, hello everyone. My name is Steve Johnstone, and I am excited to be with you today to tell you about this phenomenal company, eXp Realty, the fastest growing real estate company in history. And as you're going to learn today, the reason that they're growing so fast is that the model that they use and compensate you, the agent, with gives you an exit plan. Now, what does that mean? Well, in simple terms, it means that it gives you a way, by doing what you're already doing as an agent, to build up a significant dollar-based asset in the form of shares in eXp, which is a listed company on the Nasdaq Stock Exchange, and by giving you the chance to build up a significant passive income through their revenue sharing model, which I will explain to you later today. And then the third thing that eXp's unique model does is it gives you, the agent, the freedom of running your own business,
but without the many encumbrances of owning and running a real estate company in South Africa. So without having to rent and own office space, without having to be an NQF level 5 principal, or register a company, or have a trust account and have all the audits every year, or to register for VAT and do all the VAT returns. Or when you're building a team, you're not going to have to take legal responsibility for the agents, or organize training for the agents, or software systems, or CRM packages. All of that stuff gets taken care of by eXp. So you have all the benefits of running your own business, but without all the hassles and expense that come with it. So eXp really does offer an incredible combination of benefits, and I am excited to tell you about it today. My background, I'll be super brief. For 20 years, I've been a real estate sales trainer. My speciality has always been lead generation, specifically how to work by referral. I've trained tens of thousands of agents through South Africa, and we've coached through my organization hundreds and hundreds of South Africa's top agents one-on-one. So the background to my exposure to eXp is that in 2020, I got a call from an ex-client of mine now living in Canada, asking me to take a look at a real estate company that was going to be launching in South Africa later in the year, named eXp Realty. Now, I had never heard of eXp Realty at the time. As it turns out, they're a US-based real estate company. They were about 10 years old at the time. But I do get approached a little bit by companies wanting me to promote their stuff to the real estate industry. And so I usually just decline those offers and politely get on with my day. But in this case, something that he told me about this business did intrigue me. Something about their technology and what that's meant as far as their growth is concerned. And so I started doing a little bit of quiet homework into eXp. And I've got to say, the more I found out about this business, the more I was absolutely blown away by this company. So as I have learned, they are, as I said, a US-based real estate company. They are the fastest growing real estate company in history. They have smashed every record set by their predecessors on growth. Initially Remax and then Keller Williams after them became this global phenomenon. Well, eXp have come on the scene and smashed all of their records, particularly over the last 6 or 7 years. They have had unprecedented growth. 7 years ago, they had 500 agents. That number is now over 50,000 agents, and listen to this, they have 1,000 agents joining them globally every week. So it's like eXp have hit this tipping point and they are taking over the world of real estate. They are now expanding globally. In the last year alone, they have opened in 9 different countries, and South Africa is one of those. So it is brand new, early days, a ground floor opportunity in this country, which is exciting. Now, the reason they're growing so fast is that they own a piece of technology that makes them far more profitable than any other real estate business, which in turn allows them to compensate you, the agent, in a far more lucrative way. And I'm going to explain their model to you today to see how that works. And as you're going to see, this is a completely market disruptive business model. This is not just another real estate company under a different banner. This is a complete market disruption. It's a bit like what Uber did to the taxi industry. They don't own any vehicles, and yet they're now the biggest taxi business in the world. Same thing with Netflix. They don't own one DVD, and yet they've taken out every single DVD store, including the DVD store you used to go down and get your DVDs from. Airbnb is another example. They don't own one property, and yet they are worth more than Hilton hotels. This is what eXp have done in the real estate sector. They have completely changed the paradigm of real estate, and you're going to see how that works today. So eXp was founded in 2009 by a tech genius named Glenn Sanford. Glenn Sanford had built a $60 million real estate business himself, working as an agent. I think he was with Keller Williams at the time, but he was building his business by connecting with his clients exclusively online. Now, remember, this is 2009. This is 1 year after the first iPhone launched. So as far as technology timeline is concerned, that's an age ago. You know, in 2009, there was no such thing as Zoom or Google Meetings or webinars or anything like that. But Glenn Sanford believed that the traditional brick and mortar model of real estate was unnecessary. He believed quite ahead of its time, that a multi-office, even national, and as it turns out, international real estate company could have all of its offices and its administrative staff in the cloud. And he believed that the massive cost saving that would represent to the company should be passed back to the agents themselves. He believed that a real estate company should be owned by the agents. They should be the shareholders in the company, and they should be compensated not just for the commissions that they get on their own transactions, but also for helping build the company based on their level of contribution. So fast forward the clock till today, eXp now has over 600 full-time employees who all work, now this is going to be a bit mind-blowing for you, in an avatar world with offices and training facilities in this avatar world, boardrooms, informal meeting areas, coffee areas. You can even go to the beach or play a game of soccer with other eXp agents from around the world in eXp's avatar world. It is incredible. And this is the great market disruptor. It may seem a bit like a video game to you, but just think about this. eXp as a company has now got over 50,000 agents, 600 full-time employees. They operate in 13 different countries and counting. They have a market cap of $7 billion US, having listed on the Nasdaq Stock Exchange a few years ago, and they don't own one office. Do you know how profitable that makes them as a company when compared to the traditional brick and mortar model of real estate that international companies like Remax and Keller Williams, or companies in South Africa like Pan Golding or C4 Chas Everett or whatever. I'm not picking on those companies, but this is a completely market disruptive model. They are far more profitable. And why that is important is because their profitability enables them to compensate you as an agent far better because there's so much more money going around. Okay, before we get into the actual model itself, which I'm excited to explain to you, I want to introduce you to the eXp South Africa team. eXp South Africa is led by Andrew Thompson. He is the broker of record, or the principal as we would call him, and he is surrounded by an exceptional team. There's a financial team. Then Amanda Ray heads up the administrative. She is an absolutely amazing lady and the head of all things administration at eXp. Then Robin Nell heads up the onboarding team. You'll actually deal extensively with Robin. If you join eXp, she'll help you get up and running and get familiar with all the systems. And then we've got transactional specialists that you'll work with on all of your transactions to help you with your paperwork and your administrative processes. Okay, so they're a great team. Can't wait for you to meet them. Let's get into the model itself now. What is it that eXp does that is so disruptive? Well, there are 4 pillars of benefit upon which the eXp model stands. Now, I'm going to tell you what they are in advance, and then we'll go through them one by one in a little bit more detail. So the first pillar is a phenomenal technology platform to build your own business as an agent. Pillar number 2 is world-class training, which no company in the world can compete with, and you're going to see why that is when we get into it. Pillar number 3 is the equity awards. So this is the opportunity to build up a shareholding in the company just by doing what you're already doing as an estate agent. Be given shares. And then the 4th pillar of benefit is the revenue sharing opportunity. So eXp share the revenues of the company with those agents who help them grow the company. Okay, so let's look at each one of those pillars in a little bit more detail now. The first pillar is the technology platform upon which you will build your business as an estate agent. Okay, what does it cost to join? Well, it's 800 Rand to join eXp, and then there is a monthly cloud fee of 800 Rand. There are no other fees, no hidden fees or costs over and above that. The 800 Rand per month covers everything that I'm going to talk about as we look at the platform. What is the split that you work on? Well, now listen carefully. Initially, you will be on a 71-29 split. Now, why do I say 71 when the slide on the screen says 75-25? Well, if you look at the bottom point on that screen, it says that there is, in addition to the 25% you pay eXp South Africa, there is a 4% international fee that you pay to eXp International. They take 0.5% of that and they actually reallocate it back into South Africa Africa for social responsibility projects. Okay, so 71-29 split. But when you have paid in 150,000 Rand to eXp South Africa in a 12-month period, they cap you there, and from that point onwards, for the rest of that 12 months, you don't pay eXp South Africa anything. So you only pay the 4% to international from that point onwards. So until you've capped, you're on a 71-29 split. When you've capped, you've paid in your 150 for the rest of that year, you're on a 96% split with eXp, which is pretty exciting. Okay, the 800 Rand per month, what does that include? Well, obviously it includes access to eXp's avatar world. You get to create your avatar and you can go into the world to get tech support or transactional support or go to the marketing department or whatever it is that you want to do, and you get access to the world. You also get an eXp email address, obviously, and that gives you access to all of the technology and tools. Then you get a listing management system called REP, the real estate platform, which we use to load all of our listings. When you load your listings on the REP system, they will automatically syndicate from there to Private Property and Property 24, the two major portals. And you don't pay anything extra for your clicks or your leads. Your syndication to the portals is covered by your 800 Rand per month. Then you also get Lightstone membership with the valuations and deed searches that Lightstone system gives you access to. The last thing that I'll mention about the technology platform is that you get access to our workplace profile. Now, Workplace is it's an app developed by Facebook, but for companies. And eXp actually has one of the largest workplace profiles in the world. And when you go into Workplace, you can, at the click of a button, connect with any eXp agent in the world with a direct message to their phone, and you can network, you can form groups, you can join groups. It is an unbelievable place to communicate and to network with the fastest growing real estate company in the world. Okay, so that is the first pillar of benefit, and we can go into more detail about how all of those systems work as we get into conversations with you. Then lastly, before we get off the first pillar, this platform for you to run your own business, obviously one of the questions around the platform is, what happens with marketing materials? Well, you get marketing templates like you would at any other company for business cards and flyers and directional signage and all of that stuff, boards, and we will give you the artwork for that. You will need to produce those materials yourself, of course, as an independent business owner within eXp, but we give you the artwork. But there's more to be said about the beautiful branding and artwork that eXp provides us with. eXp take a flexible branding approach to their business. And what that is designed to do is to take into account people who already have an existing brand that they don't want to lose. Now, that may not apply to you. You may be coming from a big existing brand or just not want to keep the brand that you're working with at the moment. You will just trade as an eXp agent. But you may be someone who owns a small business and you have worked really hard over the last few years to build your brand. Your logo is recognized in your area and you don't want to lose it. Well, you don't have to. You can trade as that same brand that you're currently trading as, just powered by eXp. And there's marketing materials and templates available for all of that as well. So here's an example of a guy called Kyle Whistle's website. So you may know the name Kyle Whistle. He was recently voted the top estate agent in the world using video. And Kyle Whistle recently moved his whole team over to eXp, and they've chosen to maintain their brand, the Whistle Realty Group. But now, as you can see from their website, it's just Whistle Realty powered by eXp. And then, of course, there's any kind of marketing materials or swag that you would love to produce to build your brand. So the corporate branding, the materials, the templates are unbelievable with eXp, and I'm really excited about the branding. Okay, then the second pillar of eXp is the training. I said to you that they provide world-class training, better than any a company in the world can compete with. Now, that is the case for two reasons. First of all, because of the eXp avatar world, there are literally scores of training facilities, boardrooms, small offices, auditoriums in not just the main campus of eXp, but each country within eXp has its own offices within eXp World, and each of those countries have their own auditorium and boardrooms and classrooms. And there is training taking place in many of those venues right throughout the day. And eXp can do that, and it costs nothing because they don't have any bricks and mortar. And so what eXp do is they publish a list of upcoming training events in all the countries several weeks in advance. You can just go onto that list. You can see what you like the look of. Hey, there's something coming up in the Canada auditorium on negotiation skills. There's something being done in Hong Kong on social media marketing. And you can literally just put it in your diary. At that time, you get into the world with your avatar. You go to the necessary training room, and you're in the auditorium and you're learning. It's absolutely phenomenal. You do your training in auditoriums like the one on your screen, and you can talk to the people around you. At the end of the presentation, you can walk up to the front of the auditorium. You can introduce yourself to the trainer. You can ask your questions. It's incredibly interactive. It is a phenomenal experience. Okay, I said to you that that's the first reason, because of the online world. The second reason why their training is so good is because it is conducted by some of the top agents in the world. Now, how does this work? Well, eXp have a status which you can attain through your performance as an agent called Icon status. If you get the Icon award, that's kind of like the top award for agents at eXp. In South Africa, you've got to do 5 million Rand gross commission in a 12-month period. So that's a pretty successful agent, and it's that level of agent all around the world. Now, when you become an Icon agent, what eXp do is they take your cap, which you would have paid in a long time ago in that 12-month period. In South Africa, that's 150,000 Rand you would have paid in before you capped. They take that 150,000 and they give it back to you in the form of eXp shares. But there's a catch. In order for the Icon agents to get their shares, they've got to do, or a percentage of their shares, they've got to do a certain number of hours training in eXp World. It's a brilliant system because they are incentivizing the top agents to train the other agents. And they have a series called the Icon series, and you can go to Icon series training anywhere in the world. And it's often a panel discussion, and these Icon agents are discussing what it is that they are doing that is working so well. So the training is phenomenal. I'll just say one last thing about the training. For those of you who know what I've done for the last 20 years, I have two flagship products. The first one is the Successful Real Estate Agent course, where I teach the best lead generation system on the planet. It is how to work by referral. The second program is the collation of this going virtual mentorship journey that I've taken these agents on recently. I've got all of the replays of all of those webinars, plus all of the how-to videos I've developed through that time. It's all in a course on my school. So you can literally start at the beginning and go on that mentorship journey yourself by watching the replays. So if you join our eXp group in South Africa, you are going to get both of those training courses, which is worth more than 15,000 Rand. You'll get it for free as a member of my group, which I hope you find is exciting. Okay, so that is the second pillar of benefit of eXp, is the training. The third pillar is the equity awards. You know, this is so exciting because most agents work for many, many years for the company or companies that they work for, and they walk out at the end of the day with zero equity. They don't own any part of the business. And I'd ask you, where you're working at the moment, have they given you shares in the company? Probably not. Well, this is what eXp do. It is an agent-owned business. And a few years ago, eXp listed on the Nasdaq Stock Exchange. Go and look at what the eXp share price has done. It's quite phenomenal. And this is a picture of the eXp board of directors when they listed the company. And we took our place with Apple and Cisco and PepsiCo, with all the big boys. And then this is a picture of Glenn Sanford shutting down the world markets. It's an honor they give to companies that list on the Nasdaq. Okay, so how do you get given shares in this company? I keep saying you get given shares. You do. Well, I'm going to list a couple of the ways to you. This is not all of them, but I'm going to give you some of them. The first way you get given shares is simply by doing at least one deal a year. So the first deal that you do as an estate agent every year, eXp will give you 2,000 Rands worth of eXp shares. Then when you cap every year, if you cap, you pay in your 150,000, they'll give you 4,000 Rands worth of shares. Then If you sponsor another agent into eXp, so if you tell another estate agent about eXp, they get excited, they want to join, you become their sponsor. When they do their first deal as an eXp agent, eXp give you, their sponsor, 4,000 rands worth of eXp shares. And that's for each person you introduce. Then eXp have an incredible program called the Agent Equity Program. This is a voluntary program. You don't have to participate, but I would strongly recommend that you do, whereby eXp will withhold an additional 5% of your commissions, and they will buy eXp shares for you at a 10% trading discount. And, you're not going to miss that extra 5% if it doesn't get put into your bank account. They just keep it. They buy shares for you. If you work as an estate agent for the next 5 years or 10 years, can you imagine the asset base, US dollar-based asset base that you are building up, and you're not even missing it? And who knows what the share price is going to do over the next 5 or 10 years as eXp go from 50,000 agents to 1 million agents in 200 countries, which is what their goal is. And they're on track for that. Then the last way of getting equity that I want to mention is the Icon Award. I did mention this earlier, so I won't go into detail, but if you do in South Africa 5 million rand gross commission, they give you your 150,000 rand cap back in eXp shares. It is an incredible deal. Then the fourth pillar of benefit that makes eXp so special, and this really is where the magic is their revenue sharing model. I said to you earlier that if you were to introduce another agent to eXp, which you can do, by the way, just by taking them to this website, themodelexplained.co.za, sitting down with them and watching the video with them. You don't have to explain anything yourself, just watch the video together. If they get excited and they join eXp, you become their sponsor. Now, they take their place on what we call your first tier. First tier agents are people that you have personally sponsored into eXp. And eXp, as you will see from the screen, will pay you up to 21,000 Rand of that agent's commissions every year, as long as they're working as an agent. And that, of course, counts for as many agents. If you do 10 agents that you introduce, it'll be 10 times up to 21,000 Rand. So it's per agent. But it doesn't stop there. If the people you introduce to eXp, if they know a few people in real estate and they show the opportunity to them, some of those people join, they then fall on what we call your second tier. And eXp will actually pay you more of the revenue share of agents on your second tier than your first tier. You get paid up to 24,000 Rand for each agent on your second tier. And so it goes down all the way to 7 tiers. You can see that on the slide on the screen. Now, what is the catch here? Do you just earn this money regardless? Well, there is one qualification criterion, and that's in the right-hand side of that slide. In order to earn the revenue share on your respective tiers, you have to unlock each of those tiers before you begin earning. Now, how do you unlock your tiers? Well, it all depends on how many active agents you have personally enrolled into eXp. So these are agents on your first tier. And as you'll see from the slide on the screen, when you have enrolled 5 active agents personally, you will then unlock your second tier. What's an active agent? Well, an agent that just does 2 deals per year. When you've got 10 or more personally enrolled active agents, you unlock your third tier. And then it's 15 for the fourth tier, 20 for the fifth, 25 for the sixth, and 40 for the 7th tier. So if you want to earn on your 7th tier, which is actually your most profitable tier, you need to have 40 agents personally enrolled on your first tier. Okay, so if that's a little bit cloudy, no problem. We can explain that to you when we have a follow-up discussion with you. One of the exciting things about this is that you don't have to enroll people only in South Africa or whatever country you are joining in. eXp offers us literally a sponsorship without borders opportunity. You may know someone in Canada or Hong Kong or India or Portugal or Mexico or any of the countries as you see on the screen, and any of the countries eXp will then open up into the future. You can place a call to those agents, show them the video that you're currently watching. We can get them the local currency equivalents, and if they join, you will become their sponsor from here, no problem. And then you'll earn a passive income income on all of their transactions and anybody that they introduce all the way down to 7 levels. It is an incredible global passive income opportunity. Okay, so I want to show you what a 5-year exit plan could look like. I said to you at the beginning of today that eXp offers you an exit plan for real estate, so you don't have to be an agent until you drop dead. If you were, for example, over the next 5 years, to introduce just 2 agents per year, could you do that? Could you show this video to 2 agents per year for the next 5 years? And they decide to join eXp with you? Well, in that case, you would have 10 people who've joined you. And if they each did the same thing, 10 agents each sponsoring 2 people per year for 5 years, you would then have 100 agents on your second tier. If that's all you did in a 5-year period with no other growth in your subsequent tiers, you would earn a passive income of 2.6 million rand per year for the rest of your life, as long as those people are working as agents. You yourself do not have to be working. This is the power of the revenue sharing model. And this revenue sharing model, my friends, has made many people wealthy, many people. And you can go online and you will find that to be true as you do your homework. Okay, so if you are now at least intrigued, perhaps you're excited about this incredible technology platform to be able to run your own business, you love the idea of keeping 96% of your commissions, you love the idea of getting given tens of thousands of rands worth of shares in eXp for doing what you're already doing as an agent, you love the idea of world-class training from the best agents on the planet, and you love the idea of having an exit plan by building up a passive income through the revenue sharing model, then I'm going to suggest 3 things to you that you take as your next steps. First of all, complete the initial part of the join application on eXp's website. You will find that at expsouthafrica.co.za/join. When you go to that page, you're going to see a page that looks like this. On the left-hand side, you will click the button that says Become an Agent. You will then tick the little Terms and Conditions box and click I'm Ready, and that'll take you to this page with a form on it. Fill in that form. This will not move you to eXp, but it will trigger an email from eXp's system with a link to the contract in it. And I want you to read through the contract. You don't want to sign something you haven't read and thought about. And in fact, when you meet with the person who showed you this today, you might want to have read through the contract already so that you've got questions that you can ask. So this is part of your due diligence. Fill in the first part of the Join app and get access to the contract. All right, secondly, schedule some time to meet with the person who showed you this today. They will be able to answer your questions and they will help you take the next step if you are keen to join our team. You might want to click the link below this video if you're watching this on themodelexplained.co.za. Below the video is a link you can click for some further research resources that's going to help you do your homework. Go and watch a couple of those videos. Go and read a few of those little articles and make a list of questions and then get back together with your friend within the next few days while things are still fresh on your mind. That's the second thing I'd encourage you to do. And then there's one last thing that I want to suggest. Do what we call a Save Me beta test. What is the Save Me beta test? Well, why don't you show this video to 1 or 2 of your best friends in real estate? Don't try to explain it to them over the phone in advance. Just tell them that you want 40 minutes of their time, that you're excited about a new model in real estate, but you want their opinion on it. And you'd love to get together with them and show it to them. Take your laptop, go and meet them in a quiet place somewhere, go to themodelexplained.co.za and simply play the video and watch it together. And you might find that you have a few people who want to join you immediately. Well, I hope you decide to join us, and I look forward to meeting you at one of our upcoming events. Cheers for now.
All right. Thank you. Hope you're as excited as I am. And at least I hope you are as intrigued and at least opened up a little bit as I was when I first watched that. I watched a version very similar to that, but by an American guy named Brent Gove. And And then I started doing my homework. So I just want to reiterate, I've put that link in the chat roll there for further research. In fact, I'll tell you what, I'm going to try to open that page in your browser. My webinar software allows me to open a tab on your browser. So I'm going to give that a try. For some of you, it might block it. Okay, I'll try to open that tab on your computer. You might have to click a little link that says allow pop-ups or something. But go and do your research. On that page that I've tried to open for you is, there, I just tried it again for those of you who did then allow pop-ups. There's a video by a guy called Gene Frederick. That was one of the videos that really got my attention. Gene Frederick is a very well-known guy in the real estate industry in America. This was probably 7-8 years ago. And who's the head? Glenn Sanford, the guy who started eXp, actually showed Gene because he was a very big Keller Williams leader. He owned, I think, 6 of the largest Keller Williams franchises in America. He owned Keller Williams Cupertino, which is where Apple's head offices are. He owned Keller Williams Hawaii, and he owned the whole of the Northern California region for Keller Williams. A very well-known guy. And when Glenn Sanford showed Gene Frederick the model, I always laugh. Gene, I've heard him tell the story. He said, I said 2 things to Glenn Sanford when he showed me. Number one, he said, you need to find someone else to present this. Because, Glenn Sanford's like this heavy techie guy. And then Gene said to him, and the second thing is, you've just invented the Netflix of real estate. Like Netflix has put the whole DVD industry out of business. That's what eXp is doing. And he moved his entire business across to eXp. Now, the video on that resources page, the top video, there's a number of them, but the top one is Gene Frederick explaining why he moved. What did he see in this model? It is a brilliant presentation. I'd encourage you to go and do it. Okay, guys, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my Calendly link up on the side, and that will give you an opportunity to book an appointment with me. Okay, publish. You should see that on the side there. Just tell me in the chat roll if you can see it. If you're watching the replay on YouTube, what I'm going to do is I'll put my Calendly link below in the description section of the video. So just look below. And yeah, I look forward to meeting with you guys and discussing it further. I want to hear from you now. What do you think? What are your questions? What are your desires? What do you want to achieve with your career? What most excites you about this model? I want to hear that from you. So I look forward to meeting with you. And then I'm going to hang around if those of you who've got questions that you'd like me to answer now are here. Otherwise, book your appointment with me and then enjoy the rest of the day. And I look forward to meeting with you personally. And thank you for joining me today. I look forward to having that conversation. So God bless you. Okay, guys. So I'm just going to hang around. What I might do is switch my camera and microphone off. But I am here. I'm going to be reading the chat roll. And if there are questions, then I can bring my camera back up and I can answer those questions. But otherwise, God bless you. Look forward to having my conversation with you one-on-one. Okay, Luzanne, good question. Do I need to be a full status agent to join? No, you don't. You can join as an intern. The only caveat that we have about interns is, first of all, eXp encourage interns not to sponsor interns because you're still going to need a mentor in terms of the State Agency Affairs Board rules, and you're going to need someone to sign off your contracts. But we can organize that within the eXp structure, no problem. The one thing I would say, however, is eXp is probably not a good environment for brand new agents. Because you essentially own your own business within eXp, you're an independent contractor, you're going to need to be able to stand on your own 2 feet. There's no physical office you're going to be able to go to every day and sit and drink coffee and have someone hold your hand. You're not going to have anybody to go on your appointments with you and teach you the ropes. It's quite an independent environment from that perspective. From another perspective, it's actually incredibly collaborative. And especially my group within South Africa, we have a Monday morning meeting called Family Time. We've got a WhatsApp group. there are amazing relationships being built. And in fact, as Paddy will tell you, and a number of the others who are in my group on the webinar, they'll tell you, this is actually the most collaborative environment they've ever been a part of. It's an amazing team and family, but it's a team and family of peers, of people who are all independent contractors, independent business owners, supporting and loving and helping one another, but still standing on their own 2 feet as an agent. And I think that is a bit of a big ask for brand new interns. So I actually would recommend a brand new intern not to join eXp. That's just my personal feeling. One does need to be registered, Lizette. Yes, you do need to be registered with the Students Affairs Board. You have to have a Fidelity Fund certificate to join eXp. And in fact, when you join eXp, part of the joining process is you will move your FFC from where it is now. Let's say you're with Chaz Everett or Seif or Pam Golding or whatever. You'll move your FFC from the company you're with to eXp South Africa. For those of you who own your own small businesses, you've got agents with you, that's an exciting discussion. I didn't get into it on the video, but there's some exciting incentives for you to bring your team across, and there's stuff that we can discuss in that regard as well. Why is the USA not shown as part of eXp International on the slide showing all the countries? That's not by design. I think they just assume everybody knows eXp started in America and it's still the biggest in America. I think of the 60,000 agents, over 50 or maybe even 55,000 of them are US-based agents. So no, eXp is very much based in the US. Brenda, do you use eXp sale agreements and conveyances? Okay, good question, Paul. When you enroll as an eXp agent, you get access to the eXp Agent Hub. And South Africa has its own agent hub, so you can download all the templates for agreements and addendums and FICA documents. It's all there. However, listen to this. Those are all just for your aid. They are there to help you because remember, you own your own business when you join eXp. And so you can use your own contracts if you want to, but there are contracts made available if you don't have. You're welcome to take the contracts that eXp provide and make changes to them. Maybe there's some clauses that you've always used that protect your commission, for example, and you want to keep those in. And then as far as conveyancers and bond originators and service providers are concerned, you make your own decisions. Again, we can introduce you to someone in your area. I've got my team is in every province of South Africa. We've got agents everywhere, and we can introduce you to people, but you don't have to use any particular conveyancer. You can use your own relationships. Okay, Gert, I see you asking me quite a sort of private question. Can I just recommend you book a one-on-one appointment with me and we can discuss that personally? I see a few people asking, is there going to be a replay? Yep, I'll produce a replay of this and I'll put it on the on YouTube. But don't miss the point. Eustacia is asking that question. If you want to show them the video that we watched today, rather than the replay of me waffling on now, just take them to that website, themodelexplained.co.za, and that's where the video is. Just go and watch the video on that website, themodelexplained.co.za. Okay, great. Thanks, Gert. Look forward to discussing that with you. Okay, great, Lazan van Niekerk. This is going to be the perfect environment for you. You know, the amazing thing is with eXp, you get all the benefits of running your own business. You can bring in a team with you or build a huge team of agents, as I'm doing, building a big team of agents around the country and internationally. In fact, I've already got an agent in France, and I earn euros on all of his transactions. Wonderful. But you get to run your own business without all of the many encumbrances of normally running a business in South Africa, a real estate company. So you don't need an actual legal entity. You can have a big team and you can be branded with your current branding if you want to keep your current branding. But behind the scenes, you've actually closed down the legal entity. You don't need a trust account. You don't need to be registered for VAT or to do VAT returns. You don't need to take legal responsibility for your agents anymore because you're not their principal anymore. You don't have to organize training for them or software for them. You don't need a P24 account, a private property account, or a Lightstone account. You don't even need offices anymore. You can cut out all of those expenses and yet still be a team leader and have all the benefits of running a team. So this really is a phenomenal model. It just, when you start to get your head around it, it is so disruptive and so attractive. Malcolm, how do the attorneys work with eXp once the OTP is presented and put in process? I'm not actually the best person to answer that question because personally I don't work as an agent. Maybe one of the agents on board can answer that question. But what I do know is that the attorneys, once the whole thing registers, they pay eXp South Africa, and eXp South Africa then do the splits, and then they pay you out your 71%. If you've capped, they pay you out your 96% after doing splits with other agents before that. But Malcolm, maybe that's a question we want to get into personally once you book an appointment with me. Just a question so one can access a schedule now on YouTube rebroadcast. I'm not sure what that question means, Brenda, sorry. Is there a way to do CMA info? Yes, Nigel. We don't use CMA, and I know one of the agents in my group is wanting to chat to eXp South Africa about maybe getting that included, but it's not at the moment. We use Lightstone at the moment to get info. I've got a few agents who also actually subscribe to Virtual Agent to get property owners' details, and I think a few of them are sharing a membership on that. Nigel, your FFC hasn't been changed. You're not the only one with FFC problems with the EAAB. It's not going to be an impediment to joining eXp. As long as you have submitted the documentation to do the FFC change, you can join eXp immediately. All right, Ferdy has answered the question about attorneys. Attorneys work exactly the same as they do now. You follow up with them and keep your clients in the loop until transfer. Cool, thanks, Ferdy. Once COM is paid to eXp, how long until we as agents get paid? Could one of the eXp agents on the webinar just confirm? I think we get paid, because I don't do transactions personally, but I think you get paid 48 hours after eXp get paid. I think that's the answer, but could somebody just double check that for me? All right, Booba. Yeah, Booba, on the contract, Booba, I've been talking to you about eXp for a long time. I invited you 6 months ago. So nice to have you back. So on the contract, there is a space in the contract where it asks you who your sponsor is, who's the person that influenced you to join. That it's not on that initial join application. So the link that I've put earlier to fill in the first form to get access to the contract, that doesn't ask you to introduce you, and that's fine. You don't need to, because you're not actually joining when you fill in the first form. It's when you get that email with the link to the contract in it, and you click the link and you go to the contract online. It's in that big, it's like a 42-page document. It's in that contract that you will fill in probably my name, the person who introduced you to eXp. But if somebody else invited you to join today, Booba, then they will be the person who sponsored you. Okay, yes. 24 hours. Okay, Paddy says 48 hours. Lindsay says 24 hours. Alette Marais says 24 hours. Alette is another agent in our team. So 24 hours after eXp get paid, you get paid. So yes, thanks, Paddy. You've answered Joan's question. I'm assuming Joan asked, are there geographic limitations like selling areas? No, you can list and sell anywhere in South Africa. Okay, so Amanda, and I'm assuming this is you, Amanda Ray. So Amanda Ray is the most wonderful human being on the planet. She's also the most efficient. She's the head of administration for eXp. Amanda is saying payment can take up to 48 hours depending on when received. So if a Friday afternoon, it'll only be processed and paid on the Tuesday of the next working week. Okay, thanks, Amanda. Yes, Babs. And I enjoy the contact that we've had, Babs, and I'm glad that you've enjoyed the Spotlight series as well. I've got your emails on that. Thank you. I'm glad that's been a blessing to you. Okay, any other questions, guys? Yeah, Babs, again, no limitations on farming areas. You can list and sell anywhere in South Africa. So that's good news. And I've got a number of my agents that have said to me, yeah, I mean, I live in Durban, but I've got like close friends or colleagues or family members or whatever, or past clients living in Joburg. They want to sell their house and move down to Durban, and they actually don't trust anyone. They want me to do it. Well, you can. As an eXp agent, you list the property in Joburg, you get the mandate on it, and then you work with preferably other eXp agents in the area to help you sell it. And you do a commission split on it. Okay, Louis Duprier, nervously excited, looking forward to our chat. Okay, you've booked a slot. Excellent, Louis. I look forward to chatting to you. I think you're going to find as I get into my one-on-one conversations with you guys that I'm not here to rush anyone into making a decision. If you're ready to go, then let's go. Let's not mess around. But I understand that for every person, your circumstances are different. And all I'm interested in is helping you make the right decision in the right time for you, for your family, for your children, for your future. And it's got to be right for you. So, yeah, I think you'll find me quite laid back in our conversations. Monica Martins, can a sponsor be a mentor as an intern? Well, if you're talking mentor in the sense of the Estate Agency Affairs Board, Monica, the answer is no. An intern cannot be a mentor in South Africa. That's not eXp. That's just real estate in South Africa. You've got to be a full status agent to be a mentor of an intern, because a full status agent has to sign off the contracts of an intern. Patty, thank you. Did I miss something from Amanda? Amanda Ray is asking you to elaborate on agencies moving over to eXp, namely how it would benefit the company powered by. Well, the truth is, as of today, we don't yet have a Teams agreement. So I actually can't tell you that there is a specific dispensation for Teams to move across, and I can't tell you what the terms of it are. I can tell you that we are working furiously behind the scenes on getting a Teams agreement in place. I cannot tell you when it will be in place. It might be this week, it might be next week, it might be next month, it might be next year. I don't know the timing of it. So, but it's a conversation we can have. If you're a team leader and you've got a number of agents and you think, wow, this could be amazing. I could get rid of my trust account, my P24 memberships, all of my expenses, all of the legal responsibility, all of the training, all of that. So I can dump it all and yet bring my whole team across and still be a team and still trade under my current brand, just powered by. So the general public don't really see the difference. They're like, okay, it's still, Allo Real Estate or whatever. Sorry if there's a company called Allo Real Estate. Yeah, if that's you, then talk to me, okay? Just book an appointment with you and talk to me about your team, and I can get you into conversations with the right people, and we can get a Teams agreement in place for you. But as I say, I can't promise any timeline on that. Okay, I'm having to scroll down a bit here. Can different agents list the same property? No. Only one eXp agent can list a property, but we have an advanced kind of cooperation request function on the listing management system that we use, which is called REP, where if you've got a buyer for a property that's listed by an eXp agent, you can just request to work on that, negotiate a split, and you will be able to work on that. You can still work on the property, you just won't be able to list it yourself on the system. Are there any cap or limit on the amount of Lightstone reports? I don't think so, Chart. I don't think there's a limit, but we can check up on that. Amanda, I don't know, maybe you can comment on that. Are there limits on the Lightstone reports? Okay, Elise, great. Look forward to chatting to you. Can an intern get others to join? Yes, Peter, an intern can sponsor other agents, but we just recommend that interns don't sponsor interns unless your sponsor as an intern is a full status agent and is geographically close. You know, if your mentor works down the road from you, sponsored you into eXp, and then you've got another intern down the road who you want to sponsor, and your mentor is happy to sign off the contracts of both of you, because both of you will be in your mentor's business, no problem. You can do it that way. But you can certainly sponsor any full status agents you want to. There's no limitation. Okay. Okay, everybody says no limit on Lightstone. Great, thank you, guys. It looks like I've hopefully answered all the questions. If I've missed one as the scroll was going down, please forgive me, but we can cover it on your one-on-one session with me. And yeah, I'm delighted. I'm so looking forward to the conversations with you guys, because I know some of you are going to join and your lives will change. And it's been such a privilege to play a small role in that today. So yeah, God bless you guys. If you've got any other questions, you better get them into the chat roll now, or just book an appointment with me and then we can chat through it one-on-one. Okay, pleasure, Lizanne. And enjoy the rest of your day. Okay, looks like that's it. God bless you guys, and we'll chat soon. Cheers for now.